Hi everyone and welcome to today's episode of the SFTG podcast. It's episode 149. My name is Hubert A. Shorter. Let's get into it. As the US presidential election approaches, tech companies' responsibility to halt misinformation has become all the more pressing. To that end, CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced on Tuesday that Facebook will announce on Wednesday the largest voting information campaign in American history. It still won't be taking down any of Trump's incendiary posts, however. In a USA Today op-ed, Zuckerberg revealed Facebook is introducing a voting information center to share election information with potential voters. This resource will appear at the top of the Not Media company's newsfeed, as well as on Instagram, and will include information on how and when to vote, voter registration, voting by mail, and voting early. I think the key thing here is just to make sure you're registered to vote and actually vote. Steam's increasingly frequent game festival event is back for the summer months, bringing a quivering heap of mostly indie demos and a week of developer live stream events. The Steam Game Festival Summer Edition marks the third outing for the event, which is intended to showcase a wide variety of indie games and follows more or less the same template as previous iterations, albeit on a considerably grander scale, of course, as a result of COVID-19 and everything associated with it. It's more of an online thing, and of course they're going to put more resources into it, including the AMAs and the live events. As this story has said, it's mostly indie games, so if you're into that sort of thing, then make sure to check it out. The Raspberry Pi Foundation has released a new version of its flagship model, the Raspberry Pi 4. In addition to the models that come with 2 and 4 gigs, there is a new 8 gig model, which costs around $75, making it the most expensive Raspberry Pi out there. As always, you get a single board device, the size of a deck of cards. It has an ARM-based CPU, many ports, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and a big community of enthusiasts. You'll be able to run applications that require more RAM, of course, whether you use the Raspberry Pi to run a server or as a desktop device. All the different versions of the Raspberry Pi 4 have the exact same specs except for RAM. Some components have moved on the board, but it's just a minor adjustment. Earlier this year, the Raspberry Pi Foundation replaced the 1 gig with the 2 gig Raspberry Pi 4 while keeping the same price point. Now, I know that there's a massive community of Raspberry Pi individuals out there running a version of Linux on this device, a brilliant device for teaching basic computer skills, whether it's programming or maybe some more of the hardware stuff. Never owned one, but, you know, if you want the cheapest PC possible, grab yourself a Pi. That was not a joke. PS4 and Xbox One owners now have the chance to play the PC version of The Witcher 3 at no extra cost. Now, full disclosure here, I consider The Witcher 3 probably the greatest PC video game of all time. I'm just saying. The Witcher 3 originally released in 2015 on all 3 of those platforms, but the PC version is arguably the best way to experience the game. I completely agree with this. Upon release of the Xbox and PlayStation versions, there were some issues with frame rates, which they adjusted and solved a little later on. So yes, if you really want to play this, you should be playing it on the PC. Better performance is not the only reason console owners should snag it on PC. Downloadable fan-made mods can add numerous things not previously found in the game, such as more loot from defeated creatures or obscure add-ons like chicken helmets. Yes, you heard that right, chicken helmets for your NPCs. Look, I would just get it, especially if you've gotten yourselves a new graphics card, and just install it and push those settings up to ultra and enjoy the goodness that is The Witcher 3. Great game. You can get it for free. Our last story is about Dave Filoni's new TV show, a Star Wars TV show featuring Grand Admiral Thrawn. Yes, you heard it. Grand Admiral Thrawn is coming to Disney Plus in a Star Wars TV show. Now, of course, this is based on the massive success of The Mandalorian and the fact that there's going to be the Obi-Wan Kenobi series as well as Cassian Andor. Massive success for Disney Plus, and this source has confirmed that the direction of this new show, totally new show, we don't know the title of it yet, is going to be based around the heir to the Empire books by Timothy Zahn, where Thrawn was first introduced. No details yet, but this is very exciting for all the Star Wars fans out there, including myself. Okay, that was our last story. So as always, if you have any questions, comments or suggestions, you can email us at sftgpodcast@gmail.com. You can download the episode on Google, Apple, and any old podcast catcher that's out there. You can follow us on Pinterest, Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter. And of course, I am Hubert A. Shorter, and I will see you next time.